WHCJ 90.3 FM. We are on the line with Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher, what's going on, man?
What's happening, brother? How you, brother?
I'm good. It's good to hear from you. So let's start a little bit. Let's backtrack a little bit, and then we'll get to the present. So, your first solo project, if I'm not mistaken, was Attention, the CD,
Yeah.
which featured the hit single Never Scared. Tell us about coming off the success of that album. What was your next step to follow that up?
I worked after that record. I did a couple of songs with a couple of albums with some other people, but I really was just in the lab, man, just working on this new album and really getting everything together as far as how I want to come back. So it's been about 10 years for me. So I've been trying to get this record. I've been recording consistently for 10 years. So when you hear the new music, hopefully people will understand I've been recording a long time, and it's as good as we're going to get as far as that. I've been just trying to make sure the sound is something new, something fresh, but not too far away from what people can really grasp hold to. But I want to make sure people understand that the groove is really all I'm concerned with.
Right. 10 years is a long time, to kind of take a step back, kind of take us into Bone Crusher's world over the last 10 years and tell me a little bit about your view on hip hop and kind of the twists and turns that it's taken in the 10 years where you would just kind of sit back watching the game and how things evolved.
I've been watching these new cats, and especially the guys from where I'm from Atlanta. And I think that, they are sort of like they're like, to me, they're like guys that are, once we broke down the walls, they just kind of came through and did what they did. A lot of it doesn't really sound that good to me, but, I just kind of figure out that, the game is the game and people change, but we have to change with the game. And what I try to do is, I talk to a lot of these cats, man. They ask me questions about the game and how I feel about music and all this stuff. So I never tell them anything that's going to make them not want to do it. But a lot of them shouldn't be doing it. And the music itself is getting really bad, and people aren't really buying it. And that's causing a problem. I told the DJ the other day, I said, man, you like your job? He was like, huh? I said, do you like your job? He said, yeah. I said, well, you better figure out how to stop playing some of this stuff, because what's happening is that a lot of this stuff isn't good, and people aren't really vibing to it. You're playing it just because. A lot of people getting things under the table, a lot of people getting this for that, but the music is the actual product that has to be revered. If you don't revere your craft will then turn on you, and you will end up working at McDonald's like everybody else. And I don't want to work at McDonald's. I don't know about you, brother, but I don't particularly like McDonald's. And what's happening is that they're trying to get us in a state where the music is not the focus. Everything else is the focus. Fashion, social media, trending topics. That's the focus. That ain't the focus. The product itself has to be the focus. If every time you went to Best Buy, they never talked to you, would you ever go back? Negative. Pretty soon, Best Buy will be out of business, and all those people will be working at McDonald's. You don't want to be working at McDonald's. That's why I always tell them. So I make sure that the music that I put out is something that people can love, people can revere, people can look at it and say, Bone, you did a great thing, and I want all these new artists that are coming out to think that way. Because if you don't, we all going to lose a job. All the writers, all the DJs, all the people that are signing writers and signing DJs going to lose a job. And we're going to be out of business. And only people making money is those that are doing social media and trending topics and fashion. So I try to make sure I let these young cats know that.
So, Bone, it's hard. Like when you came out with your solo project, like y'all kind of changed the game, especially coming out of Atlanta. Right around then, you had the beginnings of T.I.'s career. T.I. was already established and doing his thing, and he was hot, but he wasn't as deep in now. Lil Jon and the East Side Boys was changing the game with their style of music, and you came out with Never Scared, and so the trends kind of changed as y'all started doing your thing and setting the pattern. And even now, here you are 10 years out from the success of Never Scared, and you still walk down the street and hear people say, I ain't never scared, in response to a comment or something else. That's something that you started. As far as those trendsetters, what young artists do you see with the capability to set those type of trends? And is that what you're trying to do now as you return to the forefront of the music game?
Well, the young guys that I think that are, to me, that I think are dope. I like J. Cole. Mm-hmm. I like Kendrick Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. I don't really like nobody else.
Do you agree with situations like Kendrick went on who was Big Sean song and call out the whole industry just about? You agree with situations like, is that what it's gonna take to wake the hip hop game up?
I mean, whatever it takes, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's what's going to wake the game up?
What's that?
I tell you, it ain't really about waking the game up. It's really about making black folk come back to the reality of realizing that we're black folk.
Right.
We've lost our soul. We've lost who we are as a people. And that means that we've lost the fight. At one point, people used to look at us and follow us. Now we're following, which is a bad situation, which is the sense that we're the people with the melanin. We're the people with the stronger skin, the vibe, the soul. I watched a dance competition not too long ago on television, and I was watching the young brothers and sisters perform, and I looked at them, and they were counting. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's no rhythm.
When people start counting the dance?
Yeah.
It shook my head and said, oh, my God, I must do something. That really got me on where I'm on right now, because if I don't do anything, then nobody will do anything, it looks like. And it seems like people don't really care about us no more. We got to bring us back to the dance floor. That, in turn, will bring us back to the soul. You know what I'm saying? The days of Soul Train, man, when the Soul Train line started, they weren't counting. They just started grooving when the beat came on. We black people, we forgot that we black.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get the groove. Let's not forget who we are. And that's the problem right now. That's the problem. That's the reason why we can't bring it. That's the reason why we got to bring it back to the dance floor. We got to bring it back to the groove. We got to bring it back to riding music. When you're in your car and you're grooving out, man, and you're thinking. What's happening is that you're not thinking anymore. They got us where we're not thinking. They got us where we're all just doing stuff. And we locked in on social trending, and we can't pay our rent. We're getting evicted, but we're too concerned about Louboutins and Gucci and all that stuff. That stuff don't mean nothing.
Right.
What something is the fact that you got to pay your rent, the fact you got to eat every day. Let's talk about what's going on in the hood. Let's bring the hood back up. That's what we were doing back then. That's why people still say I ain't never scared 10, 15 years later, because it brings up one word, nostalgia. This music 10 years from now, you're not going to want to listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything about it. I couldn't even tell you who was the hot guy last year. You probably couldn't tell me. You're a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. That's bad, because we as black people supposed to be the trendsetters, and we're not doing it, man. We're playing a whole foolish game that we don't have to play. I can remember the times when we would take their clothing and make it our own, and they'll come and bite our style. Now we don't do that. We wear the clothes right off the rack. I look in the store. Come on, man. What happened to us? It's sad, man. And I hate to say it, but black people don't lost it.
So, as an artist and an artist with a voice, when you say the name Bone Crusher, I mean, universally known, people know your name. People can identify. Yeah, I know Bone Crusher, this, that, and the other. As having that kind of notoriety, how do you attack the problem? I mean, it's agreed that the identity, especially in black youth, is lost. and a lot of that is steered by music and steered by the things that they see on TV. And I'm not gonna call any names. I don't want to call anybody out, but a lot of our black-owned networks and our black networks, I can't say black-owned because they're not owned by blacks anymore. They were sold, and so a lot of those are steering the culture and what our youth idolize, the money, the jewelry, the Louis Vuitton, and forget paying the rent. You know what I'm saying? And we, like I said, we're dealing in the FU pay me generation. How does somebody of your stature attack that problem?
I tell you, the way we do this together. A lot of people, we brung out that sound, that movement that you're talking about with Lil Jon and T.I. and David Banner, and Ying Yang Twins. What was that? That was called a unified front. That was called a bunch of people getting together with one thought in mind to take over. Whereas now, you got to find some young kids that want to be something different. And the only way we do that is to show them something different. We never showed them as the so-called leaders of the South or so-called leaders of this movement. We never showed them. So we have to be responsible for our children. You can't get mad at them because you never showed them. You know, and when you do show them, you show them something that they don't want to see. And they not, you can't fool kids. Kids know the truth when they see it. They know that. Yeah. They like to have a good time. They like to party. My children love to have fun and laugh and giggle. But they also like real. And it's like anything in life, man. When someone sees you as a person, and the only thing we have in our neighborhood, we don't have money. We don't have credit. All we have is respect. And if someone doesn't respect you, then they really are not messing with you in that order. So our artists that are out right now, the young cats, they don't have respect from their fans because they don't respect their fans. They don't even respect the music that they're doing. They always talking about, I ain't got a rap, and you know it. Man, who cares, bro, about you not being able to rap, and you know it. It's all about the music. How you going to tell somebody that you don't respect your craft and want them to respect you? And that's how we have to do it. We have to respect what we're doing as a people. This music is our music. Rap music is our music, which meaning black music. We created this. We made the sound. Whether you're from New York, whether you're from the West Coast, whether you're from down south, this is all black music. Respect it. Understand that it takes you out your neighborhood. It makes you wealthy. It makes you feel good inside as a person there to feed your family off something that you love. I'm watching T.I. right now on VH1, man. I'm proud of that brother. Mm-hmm. He has taken himself out of his hood. He has made himself a commodity off of himself. Where else can we do that, people? Let's not lose that. You lose that, we back at McDonald's. Half of these cats now, mostly all these cats, including myself, if I didn't have rap now, I don't know where I would be. So I respect it. I love it. Never will you hear me say, I don't have to rap and you don't know it. Never, because I love what I do. And I want people to understand that. Love what you do, man, and then people will respect you. And they will buy your CD because they respect you for you loving yourself and loving the craft that you do. Make sure you get that together. If you don't get that together, you're going to lose. We're going to lose as a people, and that's real.
So let's fast forward to now, today. 10 years later, when you decide, you know what, it's time for Bone Crusher to get back in the game. Tell me about that process and tell me about the new project.
Well, you know, I was sitting back, man. I've been sitting back watching, and I've worked with a few people. I've worked with Dr. Dre on the Detox album. I've worked with a few people in the industry. I've worked with, Jermaine, and I've worked with Bell Rock and a few other cats that stay on their business. And, I just sit back and I watch the game and I say to myself, what does the game need? What do our people need? I think that this album, I thought about it and I say, man, this album's going to be about me and about what I'm all about as a person, as an individual, and what I have to do to help out our people, help out our young ones. And I thought about it. I say, man, what's the difference? I want to bring the streets to the groove. I want to bring the hustle to the groove. And if you listen to Know That, or you listen to Vibrations, you'll hear that. You'll hear the hustle with the groove. What has happened is that people are not telling you the truth. They're not giving you the real. So that's what I want to do on this album now. It's called My Life. And I thought about the participants in the album. I said, well, if I'm going to have to do it that way, I'm going to have to bring the soul to the groove. And I went and got some of the great soul singers and artists. I got Marsha Ambrosius. I got Raheem DeVaughn. I got Stevie Wonder. I got Charlie Wilson. I got Beanie Man. Got 8-Ball MJG. I got the late great Pimp C, a verse from him. I got Too Short. I got Youngblood, and a few other characters, and for this particular scene that we want to bring out to the people. And I knew that it was time for something like this. It was time for me to bring the groove back to the dance floor. Time for me to bring the groove back to your car. What do we listen to all the greatest music? And you know, Dr. Dre told me something very, very dope. He said, what people listen to that most of their music at? Spend most of their time at? In their car or in their bed? So if you're making music for their bedroom or for their car, you're gonna win. So I listen to the people that I look up to, and I say, well, this is what I'm gonna make music for: the car and the bedroom. Mm-hmm. So I thought about it, and I say, man, let's get it back to the groove. Let's get it back to the place. And I've been recording consistently for this. I never knew this, though. That's weird. I never knew that I was going to be recording all this time to get myself in position of get as good as I am now for this particular album. So everybody that hears it goes crazy over it, and I really respect the fact that they do. And you know, it's not for me. It isn't for me to even say that it's dope. It's for the people to feel. I want everybody to feel my music. So that they feel never scared. I want them to feel my album. So that's basically the premise behind the whole project. And I just hope that people love it as much as I do.
What's the release date for My Life, Bone?
The album will be out at the top of the year.
So we're looking at the top of the year after the album drops. And judging by the features you just named, and the return of Bone Crusher to the game, which I'm sure that a lot of people in the hip hop world are looking forward to. After that happens, what's next for Bone Crusher?
Man, we're gonna hopefully we can change some things. That's next for me. I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this for us to be able to have longevity here in this game of music. I'm here for the fun of it. I'm here for people to say, man, I remember this kind of groove. I love that. That's next for me, man. I want to go around and spreading the word of our people, letting people know that this is what it's all about, and this is what music is supposed to be about. And well, that brings me fame or success is irrelevant. It's about people hearing it. And hopefully I can reach the minds of the youth and make them feel it. Because I want our people to know that this is our thing. You know what I mean? And this is what we do. So whatever brings me, movies or television or whatever it brings me, that's cool, but that ain't the purpose of this whole movement.
I was about to say, you thinking about venturing into the world of acting, movies, television, those type of things? Because normally, you know, that's kind of the evolution of artists of your stature. Y'all go into other realms because you've done everything there is to do with music. And just to say, you know, LL Cool J, Queen Latifah, T.I. has had, you know, he doing his thing in TV, Luda. You know, so is that you gonna, you know, go more into the world of television and movies?
Yeah, I mean that's if that's the direction that I'm supposed to go, I'm going. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say yeah, but I'm shooting for the moon, and that's the whole thing. Though I'm going for whatever God has got for me. But like I say, definitely, I'm not turning my head to nothing. But what I do say this, though, like I told you earlier. This is not about that. It's about keeping the job. And that right now we're losing our jobs, so I got to make sure I keep a job. So let me keep putting this good stuff out for a minute. Then I can think about, once I put down a little savings meaning enough music and enough groove, and hopefully people follow the movement and start doing their own grooving, then I can kind of be cool with it, because then I can secure my job and other jobs for other people.
Right.
Because we thought about that when we did the movement in the beginning. We're thinking we're going to come out, blow away everybody, and then the people behind us can work. That in turn keeps the South hot. That in turn keeps me hot. Selfishness is what's happening now. It has nothing to do with the next man. That's what we have to start thinking. We got to start thinking like, I'm doing this for the next generation, and then will revere me, which will then keep me a mogul, will keep me in the eyes of the public. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. If you blow up people where you're from, and they see you as the one that did it, what are they going to do? They're going to talk about you. That in turn brings up what they call a family history. What we're losing is the history of our family. They're trying to destroy that. We're not going to allow that. I'm not going to allow that. As much as I can, I'm going to keep talking about the good stuff, so the next generation can have a job. My kids, if they want to decide to be entertainers, can be entertainers. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about.
That's what's up. This is WHCJ 90.3 FM. Will Serious on the phone with Bone Crusher. We looking forward to first of the year My Life album dropping, featuring the hit singles Know That and Vibrations. Bone Crusher, I appreciate your time today, brother.
All good, man. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Anytime.